Good morning and welcome to Focus Online TV. Today marks another daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Remember, Focus TV brings innovation to broadcasting. This morning, today is July 16th, and today was Thursday, 2023. So I'm here in studio as your presenter for the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. My name is Rekfina Sipa and I'm here with my colleague, Lyndon Topa. And I'm blessed this morning having you here in studio, Lyndon Topa. How do you feel?
I feel excited. It is indeed an opportunity to be here as usual.
Yeah. So this morning, before we begin our daily edition of Inside the Print Media, let me leave you with this motivation. Success is a journey, not a destination. Success is a journey, not a destination. So we encourage you to please share our live stream. If you are watching us in the diaspora, we say thank you this morning for joining us here in Liberia. And if you are watching us within Liberia or pleasant good morning, thank you for watching this live stream. We encourage you to please keep on sharing our live stream. Invite someone to join you as we bring the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. So this morning, let's look at our headlines from our different sources of newspapers. We have in studio with us the Daily Observer newspaper. We have the New Ground. We have On Page Africa. And then we move straightly to our international news. Our sources are BBC and ABC. So stay with us as we will be right back with the headlines and details of our news. Thank you. Welcome back again once more. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Wherever you are watching us from, we are broadcasting live from Focal TV here in the Togo Village community along the Jubilee Highway. Remember, with Focal TV, we bring innovation to broadcasting. I am officially welcoming all of our viewers to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. And I am your presenter for today, Rekfina Sipa, along with my co-presenter, Lyndon Topa is my co-presenter for today, and we're going to be giving you information from our news sources within Liberia. We have the Daily Observer newspaper, we have the New Town newspaper here in studio, we have On Page Africa newspaper, and our international source, BBC and ABC. So stay with us as I review the headlines under the Daily Observer newspaper. Waka vows to audit via government if elected president. Waka vows to audit via government if elected president. Open letter to President Weah. Open letter to President Weah. Under the Daily Observer newspaper, we have another headline. Justice Ministry to hand over all evidence against court. Justice Ministry to hand over all evidence against. So this is the first three headlines under the Daily Observer newspaper. So we begin the news. Waka vowed to audit via government if elected president. Former Vice President Joseph Waka has pledged if he is elected president this year to audit the government of President George Weah and prosecute anyone found guilty of corruption. Essential to Waka's anti-corruption strategy is the establishment of a team to renowned anti-corruption side, individuals who will be empowered with the critical responsibility of recovering stolen funds and stolen property from officials within the Weah government. With a career spanning decades, he has witnessed the detriment the effects corruption can have on politics. forget past him. We now move over to another headline and details. The headline: Open letter to President Weah. Open letter to President Weah. And I will read the letter in detail. Dear President Weah, I hope this letter finds you well. As a concerned citizen, I would like to address some pressing concerns and offer suggestions for a brighter future. Firstly, I propose that we acknowledge the mistakes of our past and learn from them. It is essential that we remember the dark moments in our history to ensure they are never repeated. We must also remain vigilant in upholding accountability for all crimes committed during those unusual times. In the spirit of reconciliation, I am inspired by the acts of forgiveness demonstrated by individuals such as Samuel Kyan Jr. Through forgiveness and dialogue, we can heal our wounds and build a united life. As we move forward, let us prioritize healing both physically and emotionally, supporting one another in our pursuit of peace and understanding growth in our lives. Additionally, I propose the reinstatement of significant cultural and historical holidays, such as April 12th, and the inclusion of a new holiday, January 10th, President's Day. This new holiday will be dedicated to celebrating and honoring the President of Liberia. It will be a day to reflect on the importance of leadership and the responsibilities that come with it. This holiday will contribute to fostering unity and pride among the Liberian people. To further enhance our nation, I suggest restructuring government buildings by referring to them as departments and destinations, or designating the heads as secretaries. In agriculture and promoting a green revolution will ensure food security and economic stability for Liberia. Moreover, I believe it is crucial to strengthen the armed forces of Liberia. I recommend increasing their numbers to effectively protect our borders and citizens. This will require resources and support, and I urge you to explore opportunities for assistance from our allies such as United States. Finally, I bring to your attention the issue of illegal immigration in Grand Chile. This requires immediate attention to safeguard the security and integrity of our borders. I kindly request your urgent intervention in addressing this matter. Mr. President, I commend your dedication to the well-being of Liberia and its people. I trust in your leadership to take swift action in addressing these concerns and implementing solutions that will pave the way for a brighter future. May Liberia continue to prosper under your stewardship. Sincerely, S.T. Labakwati Senior, Major AFL and current President GAD Development Organization in the Americas. We now move to another headline, still under the Daily Observer newspaper. Justice Ministry to hand over all evidence against Scott. The presiding chamber justice of the Supreme Court has declined to issue a right of certiorari prayed for by the Ministry of Justice against a ruling by Judge Roosevelt Willie, which ordered the ministry to make available all evidence in the murder case against Councillor Glorious Musu Scott. The ministry, in its right, had argued that it was premature for the criminal court A judge to approve the defense team against or request for evidence when the trial has not yet begun. But Associate Justice Yami Brese disagreed and declined to issue the right of certiorari as requested. The decision by Justice Brese, which indicates the Ministry of Justice was wrong in challenging the ruling, now compels the handover of all what are likely to be dozens of pieces of evidence, both oral and documentary, to the defendant legal team. With this being said or being read out, we now move over to my colleague Kaylee Nontokwa for headlines and the news in details from the front page Africa.
Okay, thank you, Griffin and Sipa, for such a splendid reading. Let us look over the headlines in the front page Africa newspaper. Christopher Savili, last year, July 26, torture victim, calls for investigation into his maltreatment and bringing perpetrators to book. Senate suspends LACC nominees' confirmation hearing over their failure to declare access. Israel to build 1,000 kVA solar farm at foreign ministry. Internal audit agency begins stakeholder dialogue to release public sector compliance scorecard. And let's look at the details of all of the headlines I just reviewed. Christopher Watlos Silisu Savili, a member of the Student Unification Party, on campus is seeking justice for the brutal attack and torture he endured during a protest on July 26, 2022. Savili accuses a group believed to be affiliated with the Coalition for Democratic Change of orchestrating the atrocity. Last year, Savili and several SUP members staged a protest in front of the U.S. Embassy near Monrovia, criticizing the governments on various issues during Liberia's Independence Day celebration. It was during this demonstration that Savili was targeted and assaulted by a group of individuals identifying themselves as a member of the CDC COP. Senate suspends LEC nominees' confirmation hearing over their failure to declare access. The Senate Committee on Autonomous and Commission made a decision to suspend a confirmation hearing for nominees of the Liberian Anti-Corruption Commissions after the nominee failed to comply with the requirements set forth in the LACC Act. The committee deemed this is a breach of the law. During the hearing in the chambers, the three nominees admitted that they had not declared their access prior to appearing before the committee for the confirmation process. This action violated Section 2.12 of the new LACC Act, which mandates that all nominees declared their access before confirmation. The nominees who appeared before the committee were Randolph Tebbs, nominated for the position of monitoring and investigation, Dr. Miata Jed, nominated for the position of commissioner, and Samuel Dakanen, nominated for the position of investigations. Israel to build 1,000 kVA solar farm at the ministry, at the foreign ministry, that's foreign ministry. On the sidelines of President George Weah's recent visit to the state of Israel, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Dean of the Cabinet of the Republic of Liberia, Ambassador D. Margaret Sai Kimia, has finalized a significant agreement with his counterpart, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Mr. D. Eli Cohen. According to a Ministry of Foreign Affairs release, Foreign Minister Cohen notified his Liberian counterpart, Minister Kimia, that his request to Israel to establish a solar farm that could supply 1,000 kVA for continuous clean and environmental friendly solar power to Liberia Foreign Ministry has been unconditionally approved by the government of Israel. Internet Audit Agency begins stakeholder dialogue to release public sector compliance scorecard. The government of Liberia, through the Internet Audit Agency, IAA, has announced a 2-day stakeholder dialogue to release a public sector compliance scorecard for government, line ministry, agency, commissions, and state-owned enterprises. The IA Public Sector's compliance discussion, which started on Wednesday, July 12, 2023 at the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex in Congo Time, is providing a platform for stakeholders to brainstorm on ways to improve close collaborations and cooperations between IAA management and other personnel public sector entities. Thus, a shift back to Grafina C. Power for the continuation of news.
Thank you, K. Lyndon Tokpa, my co-presenter on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. So we now move over to another headline under the New Dawn newspaper. Fire kills 4 family members. At least 4 persons, including a visiting American, have reportedly died as a result of an uncontrollable fire incident in Ganta, Nimba County. The cause of the fire is yet to be established, but residents of Baza community in Ganta blame the situation on electrical fault from the Jonko Energy Power, a private supplier of electricity in the county, but the firm denied responsibility. The 4 victims who met their untimely death over the weekend include 58-year-old Sam Kamu, an American who has come to Liberia to see his wife and rest of the family. We now move over to another headline. Cummins shows economic growth. Cummins shows economic growth. Presidential hopeful Mr. Alexander B. Cummins has assured Liberians of good governance, economic growth, and better job opportunities when elected president of Liberia. The opposition collaborating political parties, CPP Senior Burial on Tuesday, 11 July 2023, completed the candidate nomination exercise in Pinsville, which is required by the National Election Commissions, NEC. He told reporters at the Samuel Kanyandospo complex that he will make his case during the campaign period for Liberians to give him the chance to serve them and restore good governance. With this being said, this is how we shut down on our local news here within our country, Liberia. We take a short break. We will be right back with international news and headlines. Please stay with me. Thank you for watching. We appreciate your effort. If you are watching from the diaspora, we say thank you. Continue to share our live stream because we bring innovation to broadcasting here on Focal TV. Remember, Focal TV is located within the Topo Village community along the Chibinese Highway. Our doors are open for business ideas and deeds, so you are welcome anytime for advertisement or further contract. We encourage you to please share our live stream. Encourage someone to join you, and you can share the link as well as we bring innovation to broadcasting every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. We take a short break and we will be right back with the headlines and news in details from our international source, BBC and CNN. Stay with me, please. Welcome back again to another daily edition of Inside the Print Media. And today I am your presenter, Rekfina Sipar, here with my co-presenter. And we are drilling you through with information from our sources within Liberia and beyond. So we are done now with the daily edition of Inside the Print Media as it relates to local news within our country, Liberia. We now proceed to our international news, and our source for today is BBC and ABC. Lino Topa, can you please give the information from BBC, the headlines, and the information, the news in details?
All right, thank you for such a beautiful welcoming to the British Broadcasting Corporation now. Let's take a look at the headlines. Greek Coast Guard pressure disaster survivor to blame Egyptian men. Siberu's heat wave. Hot weather sweeps across southern Europe. Kenya's Azimio protest. Children hospitalized after being tear gas in Nairobi. So, a continuation of the details of the news. Greek coastal pressure disaster survivors to blame Egyptian men. The Greek Coast Guard initially denied using a rope, but later backtracked, admitting one had been used. But it was said that it was only to try to board the vessels and access the situation. He said that it was at least 2 hours before the fishing vessel capsized. 82 people were confirmed dead in the sinking, but the United Nations estimate as many as 500 more lost their lives. The Greek authorities say the charged Egyptian men are a part of a smuggling ring and were identified by fellow passengers. They face up to life imprisonment if found guilty. Some survivors allege some of the 9 suspects mistreated those on board, while other testimonies say some are actually trying to help. But Ahmad and Musa told us the Coast Guard has instructed all of the survivors to say that the 9 Egyptian men were to blame for trafficking them. Siberu's heat wave. Hot weather sweeps across the southern Europe. A heat wave is sweeping across parts of Western Europe and Northwest Africa with potential record-breaking temperature in the coming days. The temperature is expected to surpass 40 degrees Celsius in parts of the Spain, France, Greece, Croatia, and Turkey. In Italy, temperatures could reach as high as 48.8 degrees Celsius. A red alert warning has been issued for 10 cities, including Rome, Bologna, and Florence. On Tuesday, a man in the 40s died after collapsing in northern Italy. Italian media reported that 44-year-old worker had painted zebra crossing lines in the town of Lodi near Milan before he collapsed from the heat. He was taken to a hospital where he later died. We are facing unbearable heat wave, Italian politician Nicola Fortinian tweeted. Maybe it is the case that in the hottest hours, all the useful precautions are taken to avoid tragedies like the one that happened today in Lodi. Kenya Azimio protest. Children hospitalized after being tear gassed in Nairobi. 53 children were rushed to hospital in Nairobi after tear gas was thrown into the class by police during protests on Wednesday. Dr. Aaron Shikuku from Eagle Nursing Home Hospital told the BBC the children were released after being treated. He said that they had suffered breathing difficulty and shock. There were demonstrations around the country called by the opposition over rising cost of living, but they were turned deadly. 6 people were killed, authorities said. Human rights bodies, however, put the number of those dead at 12, with many more injured. 2 people died after protesters set fire to a police station, while another died during an attack on a police van along the Nairobi Expressway on the outskirts of the city, reports say. The protests have been banned, but people took to the streets anyway. Such is the anger among some Kenyans among the rising cost of living and a new finance bill which includes tax increases. The controversial acts include the doubling of fuel taxes and the impositions of 1.5% leveled on all employees to fund new houses. The government says the houses are essential to pay off debt and create job opportunities for young people, but the law has been suspended by a court over constitutional concerns. Opposition leader Regalia Odinga, who was defeated by Mr. Ruto in last year's election, has been praising the government to reverse the tax hike, calling for civil disobedience last month and describing those who want to implement the finance bill as traitors. A rally of the Azimio Lai Ojuku One Kenya Coalition Party has been scheduled for Wednesday, but its leader, Mr. Odinga, called it off, saying he wanted to avert further violence. Policing boss Jafar Kum said on Tuesday that all lawful means could be used to disperse the demonstration, the AFP news agency reports. These latest protest comes just a few days after several people were killed during anti-government demonstrations last Friday, in which human rights group accused the Kenyan police of using excessive force. That is the shift of the news bulletin. Back to Grafina Sipa for the continuation of international news.
Thank you, co-presenter Lyndon Tokpa. The last news here for today in headlines lies within the ABC News platform. So today, the headline reads, Palace says he escaped serious injury by jumping into the ocean when a New Zealand volcano erupted. Pilot says he escaped serious injury by jumping into the ocean when a New Zealand volcano erupted. Canberra, Australia, a helicopter pilot said in court on Thursday he and 2 of his passengers had escaped serious injury by jumping into the ocean when a New Zealand volcano erupted in 2019, killing 22 persons. Another 2 of the pilot, Brian Dapu, Joy flight passengers, did not make it to the water, were engulfed by a cloud of hot ash from the White Island eruption and suffered serious burns. Belgian-born Dapu, who speaks with an Irish accent, testified at the Accork District Court on Thursday in the trial of 3 tourism companies and 3 directors charged with safety breaches over the disaster. The water is what saved us, Dapu told the court. Dapu and his 4 German passengers where among 47 people on the White Island, the tip of the undersea volcano, also known by its indigenous Maroon name, Walkari. When, when superheated, gases erupted. Most of the 25 survivors were severely burned. This is how we close on the news sections for today. We are done with our international news and our local news here within Liberia. With this being read out, we now go to a little discussion on the headlines. Bwaka vows to audit real government if elected as president. Bwaka vows to audit real government if elected as president. Before we dive into this little discussion, let me first acknowledge my viewers watching us live on Foca TV, where we bring innovation to broadcasting. I'm thanking you for following us today, and I'm encouraging you to get a newspaper from the Data Observer, from the Front Page Africa, the New Dawn, the Hot Pepper newspaper, and get the news in details as well. So thank you for watching, and if you are watching us from the diaspora, I'm saying thank you and good morning to you, good evening, good afternoon. So Lina Kietokba, Bwaka vows to audit real government if elected as president. It's funny, but it's serious some way, somehow. And I feel it's political because for one fact, I don't see this happening when Bwaka is being made president of Liberia come October 10. I feel it's a political talk to get the audience attracted. And I feel it will not hold. Let me just say it that way. I feel it will not hold. He just scheming us, I should say that way. He just scheming his followers and everything. But I feel he will not audit Ria if Ria would not be re-elected.
Thank you for your opinion, and that is your opinion, and your opinions are meant to be respected. Uh, but Joe Bwakat is somebody who a lot of Liberian who are who look out for his level of integrity since he has worked in government for several years. But I want to believe that it is not a mere political statement as as you have earlier opined. I want to believe that could be or that could be displayed by Joseph Waka should he becomes president after the conclusions of the October elections in 2023. Uh, One of the reasons here is the fact that it doesn't necessarily have to come from Joe Waka, but the issues about corruption, the issues about people not subscribing to the tenets of transparency has created so many gaps and defaults in many of the public sectors. So the issues about of auditing is very important. Let us point to our neighboring country Sierra Leone. When Julius Maada Bio took office in Sierra Leone, one of the things that restored the international partner confidence in Julius Maada Bio administration was the fact that Julius Maada Bio was very stringent in auditing past government officials. So if Joseph Bakas is saying that, and he actually comes with sincerity on the basis of what he is saying, then that would be a very good footing for people to follow.
We have heard that from a lot of candidates who are virgin for a political seat. We will audit, we will do this, we will do that. The issue is it is a good start. It's a good decision. But providing if when he gets there, he will do what he said he would do. And looking at the type of person he is a man of his word, which of course I should commend him for that. And his long term in service or his time serving the Liberian people, I feel it is a good start. But I'm just hoping that it's not just a mere political talk. is something that will be implemented, and it's something that will show transparency within his leadership as incoming president of Liberia or president of Liberia. But then he stated in his message that he's gonna, form a strategy in which he will establish a team of renowned anti-corruption. So I'm hoping that this team of renowned anti-corruption will work directly with the mandate that come June 10, our elected president, if elected now, Joseph Boakai, will give them, and it will not, go astray from that. And then he said lastly that critical responsibility of recovering stolen funds, ill-gotten properties, and from officials within real government. This is highly political in Ontokpa.
Yeah, that's. But Joe Biden is a politician, so you don't expect him to make, you don't expect him to say something out of politics because he is a politician, and moreover, we are in a political season. So Joe Biden, we want to, pay something politically out that will tend to incentivize or get the people attracted to his message. You understand? And it's not only Joe Barker, it's the likes of Alexander Cummings, the likes of Simon Freeman, the likes of the likes of Tiawan Ganglo, who a lot of Liberian and who inherit this thing for the level of integrity, the level of public outburst on numerous of issues he has spoken against I call the ills in society. So the issues about auditing people should not just be said, and by the time you get to power, then you deviate from the issues. Like
Yes.
we heard what President Weah said. One of the reasons why he cannot fight corruption is because we are interrelated.
Wow.
Yeah, we are interrelated, and the issues of a war crime code too, the war and economic crime code. Because when the war and economic crime code shall be established, one of the things it would do is that it will bring those who committed atrocity to book. It will those who committed atrocity, the likes of Prince Johnson, the likes of all of those people, those major actors that participated in the civil war. It will bring them to it will hold them accountable. The economic code too will also you know uh, prosecute those who didn't acquire the wealth as clearly as they should. You understand? So the issues about audit is very important. We have heard about series of audit reports, which of course the government has shown no fight or in tackling those audit reports. We heard what President Weah said. He cannot audit people. He cannot respond to allegations from the LACC. You understand?
So the fact that former Vice President Joseph Himon Boakai said that he gonna form our team who will critically be responsible for recovering stolen funds. For me, I'm thinking. I hope there is no one who is stealing our country money,
Oh,
and I feel that there is no one who taking properties that is for us or that we should be benefiting from as a country, because this paper is speaking directly to the real government.
oh,
And I'm thinking that I should I say this is a accusation, even though it's a statement from him, but I feel there is something that he has seen, and he pointed to it directly that this is what I'm going to do. And I'm saying this to say that the real government should be on their guard, because if this being said by our former vice president, and if he will be elected as president of Liberia come July 10, George Weah needs to put his house in order.
this statement made by former vice president. What I think is that it will frighten a lot of people who are in governments who have acquired wealth illegally.
Yes.
You know, it will actually bring them to a movement of consciousness.
Mhm.
You understand? They say, oh, if the CDC led government that I'm currently working in, If our government leaves power, if Joseph Barker happens to be, if Joseph Barker happens to be, will I be able to account for the wealth I have in my possession now? You understand? So there must be Joseph Barker must be speaking on the basis of food. You understand?
Yes.
He must be speaking on the basis of food.
Yes.
You understand? Because he cannot just make a mere statement that is not backed by facts. But I want to believe that former Vice President Joseph Gilman Blackard is speaking strictly on the basis of food that he has, but he doesn't want to disclose those foods. So he believes that fighting corruption is the best way, to redeem, to put our country on the right trajectory.
Yes. So we are in line. I feel we are in line with our conversation because, like, basically, a president can say that I'm gonna speak about corruption. We're gonna fight that corruption be lost among us and everything. But then they will not do it, or they will not, go to some strategic points. But here in our former Vice President Joseph Yuman Boaka stated in his message to the media that he will form a team, and then this team will be responsible to recovering stolen funds, ill-gotten properties. So I feel there's a clue. Something has been said somewhere, something he's seen, that he's giving a mandate, or that he's giving a statement that when he gets to power, these are things that will be handled. And for me, I feel it's a good start. Give to us what belongs to us. Take what belongs to you. Do not take something that is not yours. Do not take something. So this is a warning shot. It's a caution. It's a caution to those who are in position now under the real-led government to govern yourself well. Because when a papi take over, all our country money, the properties, everything we will collect it back.
Are you using this platform to market Joe Barker?
No, I'm not.
Are you a fanatic for Joe Barker?
No. I'm just mutual, and I'm saying what is being said here to the media team. The papi is saying that when he gets to power, all the stolen funds, the ill-gotten properties within the real government will be taken back. So I think it's something that is transparent. It's something that we should say thank you to him for, regardless of our political.
Yeah, it is indeed a call for transparency. Let's see as to what Joe Barker is not just saying it to have people attracted to him. And at the end of the day, when he shall have become, or when he shall have mounted the mantle of authority, and he try to fall back from the previous statement he made. So
okay, so thank you for watching us on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. I'm your presenter on the show every Monday to Friday, and I am Greg Finan Koreshpa, along with my co-presenter.
Lyndon
Tokpa is my co-presenter. We are here to bring information to you, discuss a trending topic within our newspaper, and then give you the information that you need as it relates to our nation and worldwide. So as we close today, thanks for watching us. We are Focal Online TV. We bring innovation to broadcasting. Thanks for joining us, and we acknowledge all of our viewers. We say thank you, and we pray that you transgress every day of your life as you continue to be informed of the happenings within our country in the world. Thanks for watching. We are Focal Online TV. We bring the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. I'm your presenter, Greg Finan Sipa. A closing statement from Lyndon Tokpa.
Well, I just want to appreciate all of those people who have been volunteering to follow us consistently as always. We beg them to keep following, share our live video, invite others to follow us, because we have more developments. We have more development coming up for you. Say thanks again to all of them.
Thanks for watching us on Focal Online TV. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for commenting. And thanks for giving your input. We encourage you to always drop your comments in the section where we take heed to it. We make corrections and we improve on our show as well. Thanks again. We will be back tomorrow with the daily edition of Inside the Print Media by God's grace. See you tomorrow. I am Greg Finan Sipa, the presenter of the daily edition of Inside Open Media.